Welcome back to another rebuild here on Madden 24, and today it's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders, a team that definitely has a few superstars in the league, some of the best at their positions, at very good key premier positions as well, but have too many holes outside of them to become a true contender. Of course, we're talking about guys like Josh Jacobs who have struggled, but it is hard to judge when this pass blocking and run blocking unit has been so bad. Davante Adams is obviously one of those guys who is just one of the best receivers in the league, maybe even still the best. It's hard to tell. A little bit of injury concerns, and obviously guys like Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill lighting up the league right now. Colton Miller, a cornerstone franchise tackle, a guy that you absolutely do not let go. They did pay him, I think, a 3-year deal, but they really should have locked him up to like a 5-year 90 or something. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. He has been really good for the last 3 seasons. The rest of the line, not much to say, right? Michael Mayer's been off to a really slow start. Jacoby Myers has been okay, nothing spectacular. And Renfrow, his last good season feels like it's been forever ago. Jimmy Garoppolo is not a guy that's going to come in and just throw for 40 touchdowns and 5,000 yards, right? He's going to be a guy that's, if the rest of the team is good, he should be able to hold on to the win. But right now, that offensive line is not good. Some of his receivers, they have disappearing acts. And right now, this offense is far from good. And this is a Packers fan, telling you this after they got beat by the Raiders. The Packers are in all sorts of trouble. Mainly, thankfully, comes from the coaching staff, as the team is still pretty talented. It's just idiot coaches, which, hey, it is what it is. A lot of teams like that these days. Should be in a 4-3, I guess, because that's what we're built more for. But Tyree Wilson talking about disappearing acts. I guess there's no real disappearing if you never showed up. Max Crosby, one of the best edge rushers in the entire league. It's hard to say, the best, because obviously you've got your Bosas and your TJ Watts and your Myles Garretts. And, you've got so many players that are just so good. But he's, if you're a Raiders fan, you're like, I don't want anyone but Max Crosby. Can you argue with it? No, right? It's just all these guys are so elite. These names have been killer. Of course, the DBs, not actually terrible. Getting some pretty valuable safety play out of Epps and Merrick. Nate Hobbs, when healthy, is a starting caliber corner. Spillane is a very good role player, I suppose. He's not going to be the guy that can lead your defense, but he can definitely be a compliment. Diablo flies around like a madman. They might need a little bit more talent at that linebacker spot, which is where we come in. DTs, we're not going to talk about because there's not a lot going on there. But this is a team that, once again, they have some good cornerstone pieces. What happens with Tyree Wilson, who knows? Michael Mayer, obviously, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, he sucks. He's off to a terrible start. He'll pick it up, I think. But quarterback is definitely going to be needed no matter what Jimmy Garoppolo's contract's like. They could technically get rid of him next year, and then in 2025, I believe, they could save $16 million getting rid of him. So they've really only got him for this year and next year, kind of guaranteed, if you will. But overall, this is a team, like I said, that has some pieces. We just need to complement some of the other spots. Basically, a whole new O-line. Once again, quarterback, obviously. Wide receiver wouldn't hurt, as maybe you see Myers more of a slot, perhaps. Not the fastest guy in the world. Don't know what we're going to get out of him. We'll see. Renfrow, he's a guy that's kind of on the aging side. We'll see how he plays, but 27 in Madden is kind of a death sentence for progressing. And then defensively, DTs, linebackers, corner wouldn't hurt. Safety, even though Epps, like I said, is playing pretty well in real life, the progression's gone, right? 74 zone coverage, 27-year-old normal. What can I do with that, right? So there are a lot of players that we need to replace, and the Raiders still on par for a top 10 pick, right? The Packers are making everyone look good right now, so still on par for a top 10 pick, and yeah, we'll see what we can do with that, assuming we get it. I know this is a Raiders rebuild, but my Packers fan is going to come out a little bit here and there anyways. I still can't believe they lost that game. It's a transition year from Rodgers to Love, and hell, Rodgers with the squad that Love has now struggled, and Rodgers got more out of David Bakhtiari than Love did. It's a young squad. It's quite literally the youngest team in the league, so it's going to take some time, but it does still just suck, just like playing poorly. Like, that was just a terrible game to watch. I mean, it's just, were Raiders fans happy to see it? Were the Packers fans happy to see it? I mean, I don't think any team won in that case, right? Like, I don't think Raiders fans see this team as a playoff contending one. I'd say most fans looked at the roster that they're, well, maybe not the roster, but just the way they're playing and figure, okay, dude, we need a draft pick, and we're going to get that draft pick, whether you like it or not. And then the Packers come around saying, nah, we're losing. You will beat us, because every team will beat us for the rest of the year. The Saints should have even beat us. The Bears are the Bears, especially against the Packers, so that doesn't count. Of course, the Raiders coming back here. I don't like this. I don't like it. I hate it. But you know what? If key players get dev-ups at the end of the season because we're winning, I'm down. These tandem breakouts I never click because it's just impossible to get them. But Jacobs, this is a tough decision because in real life, I mean, they've already struggled to try and get him back. They're like, do we want to? Do we not? He's off to a terrible start. Once again, the running back, the offensive line is definitely not helping any back in that situation. But as of right now, the Raiders are like, okay, so we see that O-line is way more important than the running back. But, however, at the end of the day, this is a Madden game. I hate Jacobs. I'm not re-signing him. But I was about to say, this is Madden, and Josh Jacobs is absolutely worth paying. Real life, you maybe have an argument. Maybe. Perhaps. He's not the most dynamic guy in the world. He's a very good running back, but he's not the most dynamic. Can you get someone similar to him, outside of the first round? Probably. He's very good, but, when your team needs so much and the running back position is just not the hardest to get, maybe you let him go, but I don't know. I really like that the Colts signed their guy because they have a line to run behind. So a guy with that kind of dynamic playmaking ability, the speed, the power, the elusiveness, he's a threat. He's a threat. Raiders fans are like, leave Jacobs alone. And I will, okay? I'll leave him alone. He juked the hell out of Jair Alexander. What can I tell you? Amik Robertson mossed Christian Harris, basically. Yeah, it is what it is. All right, it is what it is. Sadness looms. All right, come on, Denver. You can do it. No. It's a good sign that we smoked Denver like every team pretty much has. But 7-10. Could have finished off 6-11. Yeah, the team took a bit of a turn here. It took a bit of a turn. This is a schedule that is a little bit harder in the second half. Beating the Vikings, which is surprising, but Chargers, Chiefs, Colts, Chiefs again, Dolphins, even the Jets and the Giants losing those teams. Most of those teams definitely expecting to lose. 7-10 is like maybe pick 13 perhaps. Jimmy Garoppolo was good, not great. Jacobs was great. Adams was pretty great for Madden concerns. Myers was actually pretty good. Mayer was okay. Renfro was better than last year, I suppose. I'm pretty sure Cole Miller, 17 sacks. EA, please. EA, please. Put some respect on his name. Like, what are we doing out here? Looking at the defense, a lot of tackles for Diablo, but obviously he's like 25 already. I don't know how much of a future he has, but we'll see. Max Crosby was him. Everyone else was not them. Nate Hobbs could have been enough picks for an dev up, which would be great. Kicking was okay. Punting was better. Kick return, punt return game, no touchdowns. Now we move on to the MVP awards, which, Dak Prescott, he's killing it in freaking sim. Looking at the rest of the AFC, though, any award wins. Devontae Adams, which is a nice little XP boost, I believe. But that was sadly it. Might see a dev up for a couple of players, but it's not going to be significant. It's not going to be a significant amount or player, in my opinion. Maybe Hobbs goes up a dev, which would be pretty big, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Diablo, he should be guaranteed. And the Bengals win a Super Bowl over the Niners, coming back hard on the start of the season that they've had. Impressive. All right, let's see if we got any offense. Maybe Myers. Unlikely. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't go up in dev. Doesn't surprise me either. Defensively, could have had a few. Diablo, is that it? Oh, my lord. That Diablos. upgrades didn't even happen either. Like, we barely moved. Come on. Which, speaking of moving, if we can move that like and subscriber button up, number up, that'd be great. I believe we just hit 92K subs recently, which is amazing. Absolutely appreciate the support on the channel as we try to slowly climb our way up to 100K. It's been a grind. Looking at what we need to re-sign, though, or who we need to re-sign. They are people, not toys. I don't know if it's anyone. I really don't know. Try to get Palomao. He's not really interested, but at 25 years old, 62 overall, there's not really that much interest from either side. Van Roten might be mentor, but if he is, we can just sign him for free agency after the bid war stuff is over. But 73 mil gives us a bit of Mooney, some money to work with. There's a couple of positions we could use, but I don't know if we're going to find it. Once again, the big problem for free agency lately has just been the age. Everyone's just been so old, and from a rebuild standpoint, there's not much we can do with the elderly out here, as their progression's not going to be great, and we're not ready to win right now. So, unless I find a gem in here, it looks like we're going to be passing on free agency for the most part, if not all the way. Ruiz might be worth it, because we have a lot of money to spend. I've seen Ruiz develop pretty decently. He hasn't for me, per se, but that's not a bad name, I think. The only target's going to be Cesar Ruiz, but the Lions are actually giving us a little bit of a run for our money here, so I'm going to bump this offer to a 4-year 32, see if that does the trick. Still not going to be the highest offer, though. I don't know if that's actually doable, but I'm willing to pay a lot. 4-year 36 for a guy that's going to be here. Huh? It just went away. Maybe we do a 2-year, 20 then instead. Maybe that'll work out better. It's full on. It's just gone. I don't know. I doubt we're going to get him. We got him. 2-year 20. That's not a bad contract for us, because if we feel like he is pretty good, we can give him the contract longer. But that buys us some time. He's not the greatest player in the world, but at least he's young enough with Star. Might develop a little bit. Isaiah Wynn was there too, but I was like, you know what? I don't know about him developing, but at least Caesar's okay. See what kind of draft picks we have, because we need a lot of linemen. We need some linebackers. We need a lot. Pick 10, so a little bit better than we expected. No 6th-round pick, but those 7th-round picks more than make up for it. And, we still have all the other picks besides that 6th-round pick. But, yeah, let's get our scouting in. Maybe find the franchise quarterback. I don't know if we will, though. I'm hoping. All right, so we're in the draft, and you know what? There actually are some pretty decent draftable quarterbacks. I didn't put Abbott on the list because I imagine he won't be there. McMillan might be there. Aldridge I had on my list, but I decided to scout these guys instead. Considine, not Constantine, is not going to be drafted by us. Pope is probably my main look now, and then Cordani I scouted further just to have that backup plan because he looked all right, but some of those A to C's turned into not A's, but usable. So if it comes down to it, maybe I take him instead. But I don't know. Pope is our guy right now, our number one guy, and he is very fast. Throw power is not the best, but 21 years old, some pretty decent, stuff there. I don't know what kind of quarterbacks. Yeah, like I said, Abbott gone. The Cardinals shouldn't need QB. Thankfully, the Commanders didn't take QB. Please don't take QB. Patriots, Lions shouldn't. Buccaneers probably will. They won't. I mean, unless the Giants take one, which they definitely could. We have our choice. And we do at pick number 10. Oof. I really, truly didn't believe Aldridge was going to be there, so I just scouted the safety net over him. Elite throw power from Aldridge with a few A's, a B, the deep accuracy we don't know about. Pope is probably the safest bet since he's a 1-2, even though he's a round 1 projection. I didn't get to scout a lot of other players that have a lot of question marks because of the quarterback. Do I take... Who's behind us that would take QB? Is there any? So the Titans could, the Rams could, the Texans won't, the Bears could, the Saints could. Those two teams right behind us could. I don't know. There's people... man. Who would you trade down with? The Bears? Because we don't... I mean, quarterback's needed, but, there's options, right? Can we get something significant? If not, I'm going to go for Pope. Yeah, I'm going to go for Pope. Screw it, dude. We're going to go Pope. I'm going to regret not taking Aldridge. I just know it. But we've got an athlete now, which is interesting. It's different. PJ Pope, cool name as well. And he's hitting. Speed is so disappointing when you look at the other athleticism ratings, but 90 throw power is usable. Accuracies look pretty good. We landed ourselves a hidden dev QB. That's going to start out the gate. Let's see if the Titans did take QB. Of course they don't. Rams? Of course they don't. Texans obviously not. Bears could. And we sold. We could have waited some time for these QBs, although Pope might have been the best remaining and everyone else knows the other guys aren't good. This is pain, dude. Nobody's taking QB. The Vikings got one at 21. The sell is real. Oh, well, I'm going to skip all that. I don't want to see it. Let's move on to pick 10 in the second round. I think this is going to be a trade down because we need so many DTs and O-line. And oh, my God, Aldridge is still there. I sold so hard. Oh, please tell me Aldridge is normal dev. But like I said, a lot of 3 to 4 O-line. DT, Geralt, whatever his name is. Looks really good, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get him because I'd probably have to take him like now or soon. Problem is I don't have many other DTs. It's like just Kramer. I mean, we'd really sell and lose a lot of players if we don't trade down here. I don't know if I can. I just don't know. We also have a pretty decent looking safety in Jason Kennard. Decent athleticism with an A-man. C-zone is usually a hidden type player. And I also have another one of those possible superstar dev guys. Not quite as athletic as some of the other guys I've seen, but looks like the type. I think this is a trade down. We just have too many needs, and we're just not going to be able to make the play if we don't trade down. I mean, even when we trade down here, it's still going to result in us needing more picks. That's where we are. We're in a situation where even trading down means we need more picks. So we trade a 2nd, 5th, and 7th this year and a 7th next year for 2 third rounds and a 4th round pick from the Cardinals, which is, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's not the best, but it's the best we could do. Was Harris my linebacker? I think he was. I had multiple in fairness, but I'm not going to trade up from where we were. I'm going to take the most guaranteed looking players here, I think. I'm going to start with the DT, though. Kramer, even though he's a nose tackle, he's super strong, very good power move. Maybe we build the scheme around a 3-4 instead, needing less linebackers, perhaps. But I suppose in that theory, you also need more interior guys. I don't know, but Jamarcus Kramer looks great, and he is hidden. 97 strength, that's great. I mean, it's the wrong type of player, but there's just no DTs. I had no choice. I really didn't. Now, what else do we have? Nolan, thankfully, is a day 3, so we're hoping we can kind of wait on him. I think Diggs looks the best outside of Nolan, so Cameron Diggs, who is a true center, is going to be the choice. Please! Yes, hidden. All right, we need, 2 more linemen? But we only have pick 10, so there's that. We do have 2 high 4ths, so that we can maybe move up to see if we can make that play. O-line, I'm telling you, Nolan, even though, man, all these guys are built like centers, though. That's my issue with these guys. I might even take Hilton just because he's the only guy that isn't, like, super small. He's strong, too. I'm going to take him. Please? Oh, I was worried. The strength made me believe he was going to be normal. I swear the high strength means normal every time. And we're going to slow sim now to see if we can kind of, like, sneak out a player or two. Like, at the end, Harrison was one of my guys. I really need a linebacker. I really do. Was Moore on my list? I don't even know if Banks was on my list. I don't know who's on any list. I don't like any of this. We're down to our last 2 linemen, and Nolan obviously looks the best. He could go at any point. Linebacker, Davis, I think, was the most athletic. I think I trade up for Nolan here. I know he's a day 3, but day 3 we've seen, especially in a rebuild recently even, where they went like late 3rd, so I just can't trust it. I'm going to trade with the Jaguars. He looks so good, and that would finish our line already. 1 offseason. A free agent player and 3 rookies would finish it all. A 4th this and a 4th next. It seems like a little bit too much. Maybe give me the 5th back. Oh my God, it's not? Okay, okay. That didn't really feel like it was that close after seeing what they wanted after the 5th, but hey, we're going to get our center. Hopefully he's hidden. If not, it is a center after all, but I mean, I don't know who the strongest player is. He didn't participate, but you could see the left side does look pretty good, even though the strength's not great. Key ratings are what I care about. And he's in development trait. Very athletic for a center, so maybe he's the guard, even though he's tiny. And I don't think we're going to be able to get more than one linebacker, so I'm just going to keep moving down until we're down to, yep, there it is already, the last linebacker, who is the day 3, mind you. I want Pippen as well, but Davis is really the next and only player I need still. We're not going to be able to trade with the Chargers, though. I mean, we could, but, you know, we got to the Ravens safely, and it's not interdivisional, so it makes me feel a little better. And, of course, I'm trading with the one team that doesn't have a 6th-round draft pick, bro. I wanted a 6th-round draft pick to try and grab that speedy wide receiver. Instead of the 6th, I'm going to give him the 5th. Hopefully that's enough. We're going to miss a 4th and a 5th next year, but we're going to land ourselves, hopefully, a starting linebacker, and we really need him to be because we are not in the best of spots at that position. It's going to be Nick Davis, who looks super raw, but he is athletic. Welcome, Nick Davis. And he's hidden. That's a win. I am shocked. Oh, they're all hiddens, aren't they? We did sell on DT, but you can only do so much. I'm going to go to the 6th round, hope that slot receiver is there. And honestly, if he is, this is about as well of a draft as we could have physically had while taking a quarterback at pick 10. Maybe we should have traded down to like 20. You know, we now know that our guy was there. So a little bit of a sell that we didn't. But at the same time, we didn't know that was going to happen. There was plenty of teams behind us that could have easily went that route, didn't. And, you know, we're trading with one of them right now. 2-6. Oh, we don't have another 7th. Can I just go straight up 6th next year? I don't know why I said it like that. Nope. 6 next, 7 this. We're going to have to trade like probably a 2nd or a 3rd next year to move up and or move down to grab some of those later round picks. You know, we moved around the board here a little bit, but we did take a lot of players at their expected. Ooh, Pippen's there. Nice. At the expected spot. Greg Pippen, this looks busted. It's so cheese, dude. It's so cheese when they add those players in. They're so easy to find when you look for 40. And just like that, we have completed a damn near perfect draft / offseason, honestly, because Ruiz is going to be a decent part. He's obviously a starter. We will have like the most undersized O-line in the league, which is ironic considering we have Colton Miller at left tackle. Everyone's a 70. No one's really like super superb, but 2 players I really want to see. Obviously Pope, who is going to be the starter right out the gate. Short accuracy is insane. Deep and medium's okay. Athleticism's great. Paranoid sense of pressure is a mad L, but thankfully it's a rebuild. Break sack's actually pretty good. Please be better than Star. Please. He's not. Okay. I mean, we're number 7. Pretty stereotypical there of you. Kramer in the 3rd round. So after the 1st round, 3rd round, power move. I mean, he is a nose tackle, but he's going to be just playing 4-3 DT. I don't care. We're not switching to 3-4. And he's a superstar. That is a W. I don't know which lineman's playing which, so I'm not going to touch that yet. And the rest, I don't really, you know, we'll see them when we see them. Let's take a look at these quarterbacks. So the Seahawks took Abbott 2 overall, who was also hidden development trait. Similar to our guy, actually. Like, very similar, just not as good a short throw. Didn't see the sense of pressure if it's paranoid as well. I mean, there's really no difference, right? Sense pressure, ideal. Okay, that's really big when you're actually using the team, because obviously that's going to change the difference between missing a lot of throws when there's a little bit of pressure and being able to stand in there and deliver. Considine, who is a little more balanced than our guy, but also very similarly built with the speed, excel, and agility being almost the exact same way. He is also star development trait. A lot of star development trait quarterbacks, but this is still a pretty good group of QBs, pretty good class when you consider the fact that there's so many of them. And the next pick went all the way to 8, McMillan to the Cardinals, who will also take a hit. And obviously, I never really even consider this guy because he was 23, 21, and 22. I mean, if they're all looking similar, I got to go for the youth. Star Dev, it would have been pretty ironic if he was the guy that was really good. Aldridge better suck, dude, because he lasted forever. He was a 1st rounder, and the Eagles got him. They don't even need him. Super accurate, decent medium. Oh, my Lord. They just landed themselves a stud, and they don't even need him. Doesn't even fit the scheme for the way they play. That should be illegal, honestly. Illegal. And then Cordani, the 71 overall to the Chiefs. Another team that doesn't need QB gets a very good backup, also hidden. So we absolutely could have waited for Aldridge or Cordani. Didn't. Took him at 10 overall. Sold our DTs a little bit. And our linebackers. But hey, once again, as far as where we were standing draft-wise, we did really well. And where else would I send Hunter Renfrow but the Patriots for a third-round pick? That's not a bad draft pick for a slot goon, if you will. But Pippen just has the upside of the century. And Pippen doesn't need a contract going forward. The catching sucks, but high upside with that speed. The dev likely being superstar, I don't know for a fact, but 9 times out of 10, the build like that does end up being superstar. I'm not sure why. In my opinion, I would, if I could give him extra slow if I was developing the game, that's what I would do, because with that speed, you don't need extra help. And yeah, another superstar build. I mean, you just don't need the extra help with that speed, yet that's the way it goes. Let's take a look at what Davis's dev was while we're here. Star dev. I looked at all the linemen, but I think all of them were star, actually. I think I did look at all 3 because I had to move a lot of different players around. We could definitely use a linebacker going forward, but Spillane and Diablo are going to be our guys for this season again. And I completely sold on cornerback, too. I could have signed someone, and we'll see if there's anyone in free agency, because if not, it's going to be the speedy but very raw Jacorian Bennett at number 2, which is maybe not the best. Wanted a safety as well, but couldn't get it. But once again, we took a really good step in the right direction. It's just we ran out of draft capital, and free agency was weak. I mean, who's the best option here? William Jackson, maybe? I guess it probably is Marcus Peters. We're bringing Peters back for another season. Why not? Unless they're going to make a trade, maybe trade up like a second-round pick to a team that doesn't need a corner because they drafted someone? I don't know. Here's the team for year 2. You know, this quarterback kind of reminds me a little of CJ Stroud. He's a little tankier. You know, if he was a little stronger, I would say maybe Cam Newton, but doesn't really have that trucking, but similar kind of athleticism, same size almost. But giving me Stroud vibes a little bit here with the higher short accuracy, you know, decent throw power, just enough juice to get it done when running. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. But looking at the rest of the team, receivers look pretty good. I don't know what the situation was, is with Myers going down the line, but it'd be nice to see him get a dev up. He's probably 27 by now. Yeah, 27 at 83 overall is okay. Especially when you got Devontae. He's, he's supplemental guy. I don't know. But Jacob's here for a long time. The O-line's here for a, good long time. The offense is kind of done. We'll keep our eye out for wide receiver, but it's, it's kind of done. Defense, however, DT2, cornerback 2, safety, inside linebacker, 1 outside linebacker. We'll see what happens with Wilson. Definitely see what happens with Kramer because he's more of a nose tackle than, a rush DT, even though he does have the 81 power move. He's just not very athletic. We'll see what happens there, but this is our squad, and as far as, youth potential goes, we've done some things. 58 mil, Hobbs needs a contract, absolutely paying that. Merrig, debatable. We'll see. Divine Diablo, debatable. Epps is okay, but probably going to let him go. And then we have no money that we need to save for the future, it seems, unless at least for first rounders. But let's definitely knock out Hobbs real quick. A 4-year 34. I mean, he's good. He's serviceable, but he's not like one of the elite corners, so he's not going to be paid like one. Trayvon Merrig, his zone coverage is a lot better than I thought it was. I've definitely seen better Trayvons, but you know what? We're going to try to turn him into that X-Factor Trayvon that I've seen a few times. And then Divine Diablo, he's not bad, but we can definitely do better. He's already 26. His redeeming qualities are the fact that he's fast and has good hit power, but that is very common in the draft, so I think I got to move on from him, and we've already seen Epps is just not very good zone coverage, and he's old. Not a bad season at all. If we win, we might be in the playoffs, but we lose. The worst in the division was 9-8 this season. The whole division definitely stepped it up a little bit. Josh Jacobs, you can see number 2 on the running back list for yards. Pretty good season from him. I don't know about the rookie, but we're about to find out how he played. Obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo was like 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Did he do better? Better touchdowns. Interceptions, similar. A little bit less yards. Jacobs stole a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns. Devontae was still pretty good. Myers was still pretty good. Mayer was okay. Might need a scheme change, though. We'll see, because We almost got to the playoffs year one with the rookie quarterback. Linebackers were okay. Wow. What is that, EA? Honestly. Corners combined for 8 interceptions. Kicking was awful. I mean, okay, so we had a pretty decent season as a team, but outside of Jacobs, our stats were pretty garbage. Like, I can't imagine we're even going to have, like, any dev-ups. Oh, besides Pope, possibly, because he was Rookie of the Year. It was not good. Not even on the top 10 list for quarterbacks. There's only 16 quarterbacks on that list. Not good. But you know what? Maybe we'll have a few dev-ups, especially hopefully the quarterback because of the best Offensive Rookie of the Year award. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, for a 9-8 team, I almost feel like we played worse than the season before when we were 7-10. The Packers versus the Jaguars. Very interesting Super Bowl matchup. And the winner of that Super Bowl matchup is apparently the Packers. Let's take a look at those dev-ups. Hopefully the QB at the least. And it is Pippen we already knew about. No one else went up in dev. Pope is now superstar development trait. Almost undeserved, but you know what? He's all right. Okay, it is what it is. Going to try to get his strong arm up because that's his kind of big weakness right now. Deep and medium accuracy. Scrambler is still going to be his archetype, though, so I don't know what that's going to be like for developing him long-term, but yeah, that short accuracy is going to be 99 in no time. And then looking at the defense, it would appear the only guy that actually got a dev up was Marcus Peters, which doesn't really do much for me. And Hobbs, I mean, did he even go up in overall since we re-signed him? I know it was like week 12, but really? Okay. Let's go to the re-signings, see if there's anyone we missed, perhaps. I don't know, but it would be nice to see a free agent's corner because I don't really want to spend a high draft pick on one, but that is possible. This corner is not the hardest thing to draft in the game this year. We need a linebacker for sure. We need a safety for sure. We need 2 linebackers, it seems. And yeah, I mean, corner, maybe wide receiver. We'll see. There's some needs on this team still, but we're still in a pretty decent spot, especially with our quarterback already being a superstar. Free agency, Nick Chubb's a cool name. Tua's a really cool name. Donald's a cool name, but we're not ready to win just yet. Teller is a decent name. Keenan Allen's all right. Jabril, if we can get him on a 1-year deal, I'd definitely do that, but I don't think he's going to. Marcus May maybe on a 1-year deal. Safety is really hard for me to draft, so that's what I would like to do. I just want to get a starting level player. You know, I just want a starting level player at certain positions. Let's see if we can do it. I offer 4 names. Do I get them? I do. Wyatt Teller is a new Raider offensive lineman. I said, you know what? We've got a lot of youth on that O-line, maybe a little too much, and we get ourselves a true talent at that guard spot in Wyatt Teller. He's a superstar. He's 30 years old. It's a 2-year deal. Give us an option to have him for the next 4 seasons. Debatably, Marcus May was a 1-year 7. He's serviceable for right now in case I can't find someone in the draft. Same, situation with Shaq Thompson, and then kind of same with Kader Kohu, but a bit more athletic. Maybe even just fits as a slot, whatever it may be. A 3 or 18 for his speed and overall is fair by me, in my opinion. So we're in the draft, and we have pick 16 overall. This is going to be a defensive-focused draft, I think. I didn't even think about it, but we maybe could have had the wide receiver on my list that I had, and of course he is gone. This guy also looks pretty good route running and whatnot, and he's pretty athletic. He's an option, especially since he is a 2 to 3. 1 to 2 guys, though, we do have 2 defensive tackle types. Landry's maybe a little bit more of a pass rusher, but Spencer at 285, you would assume that power move's gotta be a B, as, he's undersized, right? So, be weird if his main attribute was block shedding. And then I also, even though we don't technically need a corner, seen some really good corners. Wiggins looks pretty good because he's 6'4". Griffin looks really good as he's B's across the board. And then Fant, maybe built more as a safety, but there are some options at DB as well. I'm debating on what I want to do because I don't know when these 2 DT type players are going to go. I think the best move would be maybe move on to 26, see if we can pick up like a 2nd round pick, and then maybe trade up twice to get a DT in a corner. That's what I think, at least. Don't know if it's going to happen. The Jets are actually kind of giving me a trade here. I don't even think I need to look at it. I think that's just a good trade. The Packers also give me a first round a couple of years from now, but this I think is the highest value. Look at all these picks for this year. And they did all that to draft a running back. I was thinking that's a quarterback trade, how high of a trade it was. So far looking pretty good, as all of our players that we're looking for are all somehow still here. Joe Cole, I mean, that is a short name. 7 letters for his first and last name. All right, fair enough. And, oh no, we're at 29. I wanted 26. That would have been pretty crazy if our guys went right there and I was right the whole time. And Landry goes, but you know what? Spencer's still there, who I was kind of, even though he's undersized, was leaning towards, as our other DT's 370, so you put them together, it's 325 average. I don't know, that's how that works, but I'm going to go with Deshaun Spencer, and then I think we're going to move down, or not move down, but we're going to move on until one of the corners is remaining. Please be hidden. He is! Nice! In 91 strength, 79 speed, 80 excel. A little more athletic than I even thought. Just because it said solid for speed and excel, I usually figure that's going to be really low end. But fair enough. And corners are still there, surprisingly. 1 to 2s. Maybe that means they suck. I don't know. Spencer was still there, though, to be fair. Anyone going to go? No? I might have to slow this down and pay attention to what we've got available, because I might even be able to land a safety. I think our corners are still there, unless I'm forgetting their names and they already just went. No, they're definitely still there. They're still here. They're 1 to 2. Oh, our freaking wide receiver who was a 2 to 3 goes before them. Oh my, at least we didn't really need wide receiver. There's no way I don't have to trade up. There's the safety. Now I have a tough decision of who I want. We literally get a choice. I have seen a lot of normal dev 6'4 corners this year. I might have to take a look at the speeds. 22 years old. Whoever we draft here, he is definitely a little bit on the slower side. Whoever we draft here is a projected starter if they're hidden dev. Griffin's faster, but I don't know who has dev. Do I risk Griffin? I think I like Griffin more, please. No! I sold! 95 speed, 92 excel. I mean, I had a chance at a 6'4 corner. I didn't go for him. I deserve everything I get. I deserve it all. Obviously, the 6'4 corner could also be normal, but still, it's a sad day. All right, we dip into the future a little bit to move up 11 spots in the second round. Even though the safety... Actually, Wiggins is still there. I was going to say, even though the safety is really small, he is really talented looking. I was thinking about going for Meander because he has an A man coverage. The zone is probably C. I know he's 23, though. Yeah, I might actually take Wiggins. I knew I wanted to trade up for either Wiggins, Fant, or Meander, but I think 23. I mean, I'm just not him when it comes to 23, right? George Fant, the tackle, even though he's a corner here. Good zone coverage. Athleticism looks good, even though it says did not participate. But do you take Wiggins and just, play him there? And then put the corner we just drafted at safety? I'm going to go Marvin Wiggins. I sold. Oh, man. I guarantee Fant's going to be hidden, too. Oh, my. Well, we're going to have to find out. Oh, a couple of our players actually went in there. I know it said 2 to 3 for linebackers. I'm just not used to linebackers going 2 to 3. Usually the fast linebackers are there. Oh, we got to go for this guy. I was going for whoever was best available. At this rate, he's almost the only one available. 21-year-old Byron Stephenson. You can argue we need 2 linebackers, so we might even go that route. Please? Thank you. Back on the hidden dev grind. Insane jumping speed and excel, but change of direction, which is probably the most important trait for a linebacker at this rate, is not so great. And there goes the freaking center that I was looking at. Let's trade up. All right, we trade a 3rd and a 5th. With this young corner for Danucci and a 3rd from the Saints, 12 spots up, which I think will be used on the other linebacker, as right now we have Shaq Thompson, but that's a 1-year kind of fixed decision. Chris Shields is probably going to be my guy here, 21 years old. Looks a little more raw, but also very athletic, and also very hidden development trait. The linebackers coming in clutch for the defensive picks, as the offense, or the cornerbacks were garbage. Terrible. At least for Dev, obviously their overalls might be decent. Whittington, I mean, I don't need a lineman that badly, but if there's someone there if he's there at 29, which he won't be, why not? Really wanted that freaking wide receiver. Oh, Whittington's there. Okay, 6'5", 21 years old. Mine. Creed Humphrey looking. Looks like Creed Humphrey out here. No other draft picks. I wanted one of those running backs too, but you know what? I'm still going to call that draft a dub, even though the corners were normal. If one of them's, at least an okay overall, like I'd imagine the 6'4" is probably going to be like 74 overall, and the one we drafted first is going to be like 76. That's all right. Oh, I was wrong. It was better. 78 overall. Okay, so that was a win. The DT's a little bit low, but that's fine. The linebackers are decent. The center's decent. That's not bad. We actually did land some pretty good corners, even though they're, on the normal dev side, if you will. Griffin at that overall might still be a starter. I don't know what the hell I do with that freaking 6'4" corner, though. I should have went Fant. I should have went, you know what? Worst case scenario, what happens? And that Fant guy could have been a safety. I don't know if the 6'4" free corner can be a safety, maybe a free safety. Spencer's power move isn't great, but his block shed is. He's automatically a starting DT because, well, we're just screwed at that position. Dev, star. Don't know why that sounded like that. Center, I have a feeling, really good power blocking. Maybe not, but I have a feeling he's superstar. Don't know why. He's not. Don't even know if I need a center, but, he's 6'5", so we can move him around a little bit. Byron Stephenson. Tackle's really good. Once again, speed's great. Man and all that's not bad. And the best part is he's a field general main, which means that he should go up pretty nicely. Dev, star. Okay, fair enough. Couple fun linebackers here. I mean, either of these guys would go probably in the first round in a user league. So the fact that we get them this late, nice to draft against CPUs. I'll put it that way. Dev, superstar. Interesting. So we landed ourselves a really good player. I don't know what position we need. I don't even know if we need any right now, but at some point in the future, for sure. And I have to do it. I have to pain myself. Was Fant hidden development trait? Also, where was the other guy? Meander, the 76 overall, going to be hidden. Oh, wow. Normal dev at 23. That's much worse than what we did, without a doubt. Where is Fant, though? Here's Fant, 77 overall. Hidden dev. Did they? I swear, it wasn't even... That was the team we actually traded with, too, wasn't it? We just gave them Fant. He could have been a safety. We traded Jimmy Garoppolo with that expensive contract to the Bears for a 5th-round pick. I mean, in real life, at this point, probably still get more than that for him. But, that's what we get. So what we get. Malik Cunningham's here, which is cool. It's already Season 3, and the team's got a lot of potential. Hilton is still going to be the right tackle. Ruiz moves to center. Nolan is the left guard, and obviously the new Teller is at right guard. Whittington maybe plays right tackle in the future. I don't know, but this is a good problem to have too many linemen. Tight end, we added a couple of veteran presence players behind Mayer. Wide receiver 2 might be someone we need to replace, which is why we had that 6'4" wide receiver on our list. I actually kind of want to go check him because he actually looked pretty good. I ended up starting the rookies because Davis is literally 74 overall. This guy's 76, and this guy's superstar, which you could say, oh, he cheated to know the dev. But in general, he has a better block shed and only 3 less zone coverage. There's no reason to start Davis. There just isn't. Like, he's not as good as them, simply put. I'll show you guys the ratings of Davis and tell me who you would start, him or the rookie. And I mean, it's just not even close. Like, this just isn't even close. So obviously we're going to be starting all rookies there on the outsides. The DT's a rookie. Cornerback Griffin, if he gets a dev up, would be great. We still need a corner, but Wiggins going to be the backup with Christopher Smith. So we'll see what happens there. But if I were to guess future-wise, probably a middle linebackers. I don't think Davis at 24 years old is going to be a viable option going forward. But we'll see. Edge, maybe, because Wilson's been off to a really bad start, but as of right now, the plan is that he, develops, hopefully. Obviously, the strong safety spot, and, wide receiver, too. I mean, there's really not much more to it. This team is in a pretty good spot. We just need to develop, need more time, because obviously it's a really young team still. Let's take a look if we can find that 6'4" wide receiver, like I said, though, because there was some potential. He was 6'4", and He was decent height. Was this? Yeah, this was definitely him. Barton, 93 overall, or 93 speed, not 93 overall. Very good catching, solid short route, okay medium route, very good spec, very good jumping, solid release. And once again, 6'4", 21 years old. That is a fun-looking wide receiver. And, of course, he goes to the freaking Eagles. Only star, but definitely usable, without a doubt. Let's see if we can find the other guy that we wanted to. What the hell was his name, though? I'll know when I see it. Where the hell is it? Who the hell is Duke Leach? He's pretty busted. There he is, candidate. Normal dev, but he is super fun looking. 94 speed, 98 excel. Great spec, great catching in general, great deep route, okay short, solid release for a rookie wide receiver. Possession and run after the catch, which is fine for a slot type receiver. Didn't really fit what we needed, though, so I guess I don't, mind not going for him. That's kind of the main reason why I didn't focus on him. Whereas that 6'4" wide receiver, I kind of just forgot that we had that good of a draft pick because I was like, this is a playoff team, right? And then I was like, oh, yeah, we didn't make the playoffs, did we? It was very close, but we didn't make it. We just lost 9-7 to the Browns. We are changing playbooks. All right, we're having a really terrible season, I must admit. Colton Miller, we already just paid, didn't we? So we have to pay again? Or maybe I was talking about they should pay him more. I think it was a 3-year deal they did. And, well, when I said they should have done more than a 3-year deal, I said they should, not me, per se. But I will give him a 4-year deal. It's perfectly fine. He's amazing. Let's take a look at any other players. Cesar Ruiz, man. O-line is not a problem for us, but the price is cheap as of right now, but I don't know what that red interest, if that is going to cost us a ton. But I'd do a 3 or 24. Hey, that's fine. I mean, if he's down, I'm down. Jacoby Myers is a decision. He is a decision because he is a little bit older for a guy that isn't, superstar development trait. Tyree Wilson already needing a 5th-year option is crazy how long that's been. I mean, Jacoby Myers is decent, but at the same time, he hasn't been the best performer, and obviously he's not superstar. On par for another similar season, but a little bit more in touchdowns. So, I mean, I do like a 3-year 31.5. I mean, that seems fair, right? That's more than he originally signed for, isn't it? I thought it wasn't like a 3 or 27. Maybe I'm wrong. And we finished the season 7-10. The only team that didn't make the playoffs, it would appear, in the division. Is that for back-to-back years? I don't even know. But look at the awful start we had. Finished decently strong. It is just a tough division/conference to be in. So, I mean, it is challenging. But let's see if we at least showed some promise. I mean, Pope, technically better, but not quite what I'm looking for. Jacobs was pretty good. Devontae was great like usual. Pippen was better. Myers was all right. Mayer was okay. I don't know what scheme we got to run because the blocking has been terrible despite the fact that we have a lot of high upside guys. The rookie linebackers are good. Spencer was amazing. Crosby sucks ever since year 1. I don't know how. I don't know what I need to do, but I got to change something, and it's probably to do with the playbooks like usual, so that's super fun. To have playbooks just determine everything. And as far as awards go, we win nothing. And look at Parsons with 28 sacks. Do I just run Dallas's defense? Like, I don't know. Wow, Miles Murphy killed it too. I mean, I don't know what else I can do here. I'm running Washington right now, and it's just not looking great. All right, I don't know if we're going to have a single dev up. Spencer, if he would have won Rookie of the Year. Wow, the Niners getting revenge in a very spectacular fashion. 21-0 against that Chiefs team that beat them not so long ago in a crazy comeback fashion. Didn't even think about Devontae aging, but he's 33 now. Still amazing, though, for a 33-year-old. Usually that's when the drop-off is, like, almost fully seen, right? They're like a shell of themselves almost at that age usually. And, yeah, no dev-ups. Not a single one. Not even Griffin, who started off as a normal dev. I think even free safety might be a problem at this point. 27-year-old Merrick just, like, not really progressing. Luckily, the zone coverage is pretty high for him, but, I mean, definitely a strong safety. Free safety, perhaps. Linebackers are okay. Shaq Thompson actually didn't regress too hard, and he had an okay season. Do we bring him back if we can? I don't know if I think retire. Oh, he didn't actually play that much. He was number 1 middle linebacker, but he was like number 3 in the sub. I know the sub plays a big factor, but Okay, I guess that just makes a lot of sense. I mean, he's a mentor, I guess. I don't know if that's something we want to put that much value into, but yeah, this was a huge L of a season. We got a couple of guys to go up in a couple of overalls, but no dev-ups, and obviously missing the playoffs. We don't really have a real big need for this draft pick, this top 10 pick, so I don't know, unless we're moving on from Tyree Wilson, which might not be the worst case. I think we give him the 5th-year option to give us a little more time to decide. And I'm kind of hoping like a really good wide receiver is there, because Myers at this point, he is one of those like veterans you sign for free agency when you feel like you're close. So at the end of the day, I'd probably rather just try to find someone just as old as him that might be a little bit better. There might be a couple of guys. I think we've seen Amari Cooper to start this one out, this rebuild out. So that might be an option. And I did try to get AJ Cole, but he's like kind of not feeling it. Finally, a 4-year 18, we got Daniel Carlson on a 3-year 15. Let's go to free agency, which we should have a little bit of money to spend, and see if we can maybe build a squad just off of some big-name veterans. Please be a wide receiver. That's what I pray for. And Lockett's the best option. You can see Myers isn't even getting an offer. Do we try to find a wide receiver to trade for, maybe? I think that's what a team like this should be in the market for, is using a high draft pick to get a proven wide receiver to help Devontae out. I think that's not a bad idea. I know we have a superstar development trait slot receiver, but he is just that, a slot receiver, not really supposed to be, a main target guy. Jamin Davis, don't really need a linebacker that bad. We could just rock the rookies, but at the same time, that guy is pretty good. He's 27 now, but still very good. The interest is half bar, so we wouldn't be completely screwed. Don't really like the zone coverage, but the overall is pretty promising. I might try to pay him. I don't know. Davis is all right, too. The other Davis we have on the roster already. That might be where I go. I don't think he's going to take this. A 3 or 27 isn't crazy, but at the same time, is it worth it? I guess. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna keep this for now, because maybe we go back to Myers if we can't find a trade. But what draft pick do we have? With this high of a pick, we can probably get any wide receiver that's like, below a 90, under 28 probably, maybe. But I think we also need to find a team that's like kind of in a rebuild situation, maybe. I don't know if this is really the name, but 26-year-old superstar development trait Treylon Burks, who kind of finally broke out, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns this season, every other season under 900. We ended up giving a high second-round pickup for him. Wide receivers aren't great in Tennessee, but they are more of a running team. And, of course, they're still in rebuild mode with Baker Mayfield as the starting quarterback. High second-round pick might help them get out of it, I suppose. Can't really throw to a, decent wide receiver when you don't really have a decent team around them. But, yeah, I wanted Jerry Jeudy so bad, but obviously Jerry Jeudy is a division rival team player, so ended up going with the bad release, but very good catching, okay route running, Treylon Burks. He's a decent number 2, and we might still need a wide receiver going forward, especially with Devontae Adams aging maybe 1 or 2 seasons out of retirement at this point. But, yeah, I mean, we're still in a good spot. It's just the team is not really performing up to standard. Hopefully this is the year we break out. I don't know what else to tell you, because, we're struggling. I don't know who this is, but the Panthers are going to give us Javier Richard and a 4th-round pick for Jacorian Bennett. I am down for that trade. And the free safety's not bad at all. He's very raw man to zone, but 23 years old with a little bit of height. You can definitely work with this guy. I'm going to put him at strong safety. I think May probably starts still, but at least it gives us options. Not bad. Good backup. I was either looking for a tight end backup, running back backup, or safety backup, and they gave me a hell of a trade. All right, pick 11. There's some pass rushers. I don't know which one I would want. We obviously do not have a second-round draft pick, which is a little bit of an L, so we could make the trade down. What do we got? Tim Jackson was not one of my guys. This tight end also looks really solid looking here right here, but 23 years old, don't need a tight end. It all just kind of works, right, for me to not go for him. There's some edge rushers, though. Telfer, I don't know if that would be one of my top picks, because he is a 1-2, or not a 1-2, but is a 6'1" player. Ward looks interesting. There's a bunch of other outside linebackers, like McGee. I think Hopkins is also decent. I think, though, if I was going to go with one, it would be Brock Derby, but I don't know if I want to go for an edge rusher. Decently athletic for a guy his size, but is he a D-end? Is he a DT? I don't know. 1 to 2. I don't know when that would be. Like, is that like 20-something? So I'm going to move down to 20 and hope somebody's there and then maybe take one. I just think that Tyree Wilson hasn't played well so far, and we could easily still get a first-round draft pick for him. This is not bad. That's what I want from the Bengals, but I kind of want a draft pick this year. All right, we trade Byron Young, a 5th next, and pick 11 for pick 20 and 52 from the Bengals. This is not a bad trade-up from them, as they might be able to choose whoever they want if they want edge, and they do, even though it's the wrong scheme. It is what it is. Nobles, the Browns getting another super athlete at tight end. Richards was on my list. Jackson was not on my list because he looked terrible. Jeff Jordan, left tackle. I'm really hoping that the guy we were kind of thinking about taking, Derby, is there. Please, Packers, don't do it. No way they take him right there. He looked pretty good. They got themselves another Lucas Van Ness pretty much. And right now it's a choice between Harold McGee, who's massive, or the small Telfer, who is fast, but 6'1", which, I mean, as an edge rusher, you're asking for it. And I think McGee is going to be my choice. An A power move, 6'6", 21 years old. I worry that we're getting ourselves another freaking Tyree Wilson here, but at the end of the day, Tyree Wilson has not done well. And even if he picks it up this next season, McGee is what, 21 was it? 21 years old. You could use a backup. I mean, this is almost a luxury pick at this rate, and we still ended up trading out. So, Harold McGee's my guy. Please don't be normal. Nice. Like I said, maybe another Tyree Wilson. We ended up trading Tucker a 4th next and a 2nd this, which was late, to move up like 10 spots, which I think I'm going to be using on Ward. I do want a linebacker. I might even go Spencer Phillips. Actually, Barberi looks amazing. Could use a safety too, though. I'm going to actually take a look at how well that nose tackle played for us. I kind of just assumed I was trading up for Ward, but if the nose tackle's playing well as a pass rusher, like block shed type guy, I guess I can live with it, but he is super slow, so I mean, yeah, 4 sacks as like the primary DT isn't the best work in the world. He's just like on the wrong team, honestly. He's just like a really good player that should be in a 3-4, but do I go for Ward and then trade him off? I don't know. Because safety is a very realistic need for us, and guys like Swift, even Shepard, look pretty good. Don't know the actual zone coverage for Shepard, but with the athleticism, it'd be really hard to pass on him. I don't know what I do here. 21 years old for Swift. They both look great. I want Barberi, so I can't really make a play of Ward and then trade up for the safety. I mean, I like Ward. How fast is he? I mean, a lot fast. I'm going Clay Ward, dude. Screw it. Hidden development trait. All right. Can I trade that nose tackle to, like, the Titans? Because they need a nose tackle. Be, paying him back for Trey Burks, basically. I mean, that nose tackle just really should have never been drafted by us. And I know he's superstar and he's actually pretty good, but at the same time, it's just like he doesn't fit the scheme, you know? They don't want him. Somebody's got to want him. Surely. 46. Can I get like... I mean, this guy's really good. Like, I should be getting like all of this for this guy. Like, he's a premier nose tackle. And they're not feeling it. Okay, I mean, a 2nd and a 3rd this. I really don't think I'm going to do less than that. Oh, yeah, we got Jamin Davis, actually. We can trade Nick Davis off, speaking of. We got a newer Davis. And the theft of the year goes to the Vikings. 83 overall Kramer. I mean, I don't even know how good Ward even is, but he's just a better fit. We'll wait till one of the safeties is remaining, so kind of hope one of them goes right here so I don't have to make the choice myself. Of course I have to make the choice myself. Damn it, son. I don't know what I want. I think if Shepard's older, I probably have to go with Swift, right? I think Shepard's a little bit more athletic, but Swift is younger, and he's 6'1", so George Swift. Can't wait to find out that Shepard's like an X factor. It's going to be fun. All right, personally, I think Barberi is the best. However, Even though we don't need a lineman, I think it's always smart to keep drafting them because they're not that hard to get, hidden ones. James Patton looks pretty good. Interesting name. Normal dev. Nice. There's multiple linebackers, so I figured if I'm going to grab both, might as well. So we'll move on until there's only one linebacker left, or our pick comes up, obviously. And all those linebackers stayed. Still a sell because that center is normal. But I think this pick is going to belong to Mr. Austin Barberi, who just looks really good. 21 years old, super fast. Can't be normal, surely. Okay, a couple of really bad picks there. Hopefully Ward's good, and hopefully the pass rusher's good too. That is disappointing to say the least. And to finish the draft, I'm going to go with a 4.36 good speed power back. I know he's not going to be as fast as 4.36, but he should be decent. Normal dev, 91 speed for a power back's not bad at all. Random fast fullback, Bradley Cameron. Oh! I guess he's not random. Hidden development trade fullback. Thought he was going to be fast in that. A 4.67 is 79 speed, apparently. Okay, let's take a look at what we got. 73, the DT was worth it, though. Free safety, even though he's normal, is decent. Patton, we're not going to talk about him. Barberi, meh. Running back, 70 overall. And then the fullback, I'm kind of interested by because he's in development trait. 78 strength. Decently fast. Decent blocking. I'd imagine he's only going to be star, but it's still kind of fun to have a hidden development trait fullback. Star development trait. I almost let these guys always go after I draft them, but this would be a guy that maybe I'd keep longer term. Harold McGee. He's actually pretty good. He's actually pretty freaking good. Let's take a look at what that dev is. Only star. Left end wearing, I don't know what freaking number, but disappointed to say the least. Number 50, screw it. I don't know. It's probably some legends people are going to yell at me for taking the number. Clay Ward, let's see. Yeah, I mean, block shed's pretty good still anyways. Power move's really good. He's got a billion traits. Maybe he's a superstar. That would make it feel so much better because, I mean, trading to superstar DT, even if he's the wrong scheme, is still pain. And he's not. I got to see the safety. I got to see him. First, got to see Swift, though, because he was, well, Swift. He's very fast. 76 zone, 90 speed. Not terrible. Let's take a look at two players. Derby, who was the guy we were going to go with, but we traded down to get a little bit more draft picks. 75 overall. Went to the Packers. Brock Derby. Pretty good power move. Decent block shed. I mean, he is pretty slow, so our guy might actually be better than him, technically, depending on the dev. Oh, yeah. Not better than him, believe it or not. So close, but just not quite better than him. Nice. Where's the strong safety? Shepard. He's a 78 overall, and he's hidden. Oh, my. If I would have just had him Scotty, he would have probably had an A zone, and I would have drafted him. Watch. Okay, he's only star, but should have known the moment he was drafted by the Eagles that he was going to be amazing. Wow, okay, so we missed out. Derby would have been a god. Shepard, definitely better than Swift. But oh well. Is year 4 the year we finally get to the playoffs, as some of our best players on the team are going to be regressing hard, as Josh Jacobs has already regressed at 28. The regression at 29 is going to be even more brutal. Devontae's now a 93 overall, and could we even retire this season? Almost guaranteed to the following. And then looking at the defense, obviously Marcus May is still a starter for us, but Swift has potential. He's the backup for now, but could end up stealing the spot. I actually haven't taken a look at May's zone coverage. 78 zone coverage. I mean, he is the better option, but the development isn't really there. So I don't know. Maybe Swift starts and then May's just a really good backup for now. I'm not sure. Griffin getting a dev up would be great. Ward is an actual scheme fit, so I love that. And we have depth at edge as well. So, I mean, it's a good team, not an elite team, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that we didn't get to the playoffs. So this could be a failed rebuild, kind of. 140 mil, but you can see why. We got to pay Mayer. We got to pay Max Crosby. Devontae needs a contract. Wyatt needs a contract. Still not that bad, though, even when you factor those names in. Pope needs a contract, but that's 36 mil. We're going to tag him, obviously. Yeah, this window is closing, especially with these regressions. Devontae Adams is like a one-year type of guy at this point. I would do a 1 year 20 if I have to, but I think 1 year 18 should go. I mean, why don't you commit to a 1 year 20 when I offer it to you next round of contracts here? I don't know if this is going to be enough. 5 year 55, it's 11 per, which is pretty good. It's not top tight end money, but he's not a top tight end, and he has definitely not played like one. Max Crosby, this is really good money for both sides. I mean, let's be honest, he's going to retire a Raider, so let's go with that. And, I mean, we're in a pretty good spot. I guess Wyatt Teller will keep for another season. He should be here and decent. O-line doesn't regress too hard, so a 2 year 30, 81 mil left, and, I mean, really does have to pay the quarterback, so we'll have about 40 mil left and all of our players for another season. And here we go with a pretty good season for once. Changing up the playbook. Had to do it because the defense was terrible. The offense, I actually stuck it out with the Bengals playbook halfway through the season last year. And, well, we're in the playoffs at a 12-5 record, which for this division is not easy. But, again, you see two other teams did the exact same and more. But, you know, early woes and then a huge win streak has us in the postseason. You never know. What if we win it all? That would be crazy. But let's at least bask in the moment of being in the playoffs. Pope, better than before. Jacobs, just constantly doing better. Devontae was great. Pippen was pretty good. Burks was not great, but good enough. Mayer was, you know, he's still not really the touchdown guy we want him to be. Blocking was a little bit better, especially from the right tackle. And switching to Dallas worked out for Crosby as he went from, 6 or 8 sacks to 24. 8 for Wilson, 7.5 for Ward, and Spencer with 4. That is pretty impressive. 2 guys over 100 tackles, but nothing spectacular. 1 missed kick. Really good punting. I mean, this is easily our best season, and it's not even close. Pippen even had a kick return or a punt return touchdown. MVP goes to Mahomes. Did we win any awards ourselves? Defensive Player of the Year, which is great. Ward with Rookie of the Year. It was a gutsy move, right? But I was like, this guy's a nose tackle. He can't really get sacks as well, right? And it worked out absolutely. Devontae, best wide receiver. Max Crosby, best D-line. I mean, we're winning awards out here. Maybe we can win the big award at the end of the season. We'll see. On the road, going up against the Bills. Come on, defense. Giving up 3. That's okay. We can live with 3. We cannot live with 7, though. Nice drive, mainly by Jacobs. Up by 4. Halftime score, down by 3. Drive to start the second half is a touchdown one. Another touchdown one. Fourth quarter, the Bills are roaring back. 3rd and 6. Our ball. 3rd and 1. Converted. Touchdown. Up 10. 5 minutes left. Defense just has to slow him down. Doesn't even come close to slowing him down. And a 4th and 1. If you believe in your offense, you go for it here and potentially win the game. I just don't know. I really don't. I think they have all 3 timeouts, so, like, why wouldn't you go for this? You have a big back in Jacobs, and they do not come close to stopping it. That might be the dagger. Let's see. Let's see if the Raiders can win it now. And they do easily. The game is won, and we're headed to the divisional round. Can't wait to see the Chiefs come up. Of course, Pope, toe-to-toe with the big fella. Josh Allen, toe-to-toe with the best, dual style, if you will, quarterback, dual threat. Maybe doing it himself a little. Did Pope have any rushing yards? 5 for 21. That's all right. It's not bad. Looking at the defensive stats, Crosby with 2 sacks, Ward with a sack, interceptions none. Kicking was pretty tame, but hey, a win is a win. As long as it's not the Chiefs, I feel like we might have a chance. All right, divisional, please don't be the Chiefs. Oh, why does it have to be the Chiefs? Do they at least have to play a game to get here? They didn't. I mean, maybe. Who's even in it? So that could have been the Chargers. Chargers get to play the Jaguars. Jaguars have been killing it in sim lately, so I don't think there's really a bad team remaining. They're higher overall than us. I don't know how we're going to win this, but here's the hope. And Rashee Rice has literally been an X factor like every single rebuild because of that scheme. End of the game. Winning this game would almost be like our very own Super Bowl, whether we win the Super Bowl or not. 7-0. 14-0, 14-7. Come on, it's been so long since we've been to the Super Bowl in a rebuild and at least won one. And we're cooking. Please hold on, Raiders. Nice. 42-21 against the Chiefs. The Raiders are on fire. Pope is killing it. Holy crap, Pope is him. Pope is absolutely him. Griffin with a pick. Wow. That is an impressive performance. One of the best beatdowns of the Chiefs I've seen in Sim in ever. That is a hell of a freaking game. All right, go to the championship round. I don't know who I'd want. I mean, I guess in theory you want the Jaguars, but I don't know if there's really any winning. I think the division in this conference is just tough. All right, going to the end of the game. 0-0, 7-0, 7-7. Come on, Raiders. There we go, 7-14. Well, 14-7, 21-7, 24-7, 24-14. Please, please. Yes, we hold on, and we go to a Super Bowl with the Raiders. The first playoff season, I believe, and it's the first trip right to the Super Bowl. Same year. Davante Adams maybe retiring a Super Bowl champion. Daniel Carlson, please stop. Bowl of soup. Who is it? The Seahawks. Are they a common team for the Super Bowl? I'm trying to think. I don't know if they are. 10-7. Who do they beat to get here? The Cowboys. They held the Cowboys to 7 points. Oh my Lord, it's Colin Abbott. Holy crap, it's gone full circle. It's gone full circle. See if we got any dev-ups. Let's see. See if we got any dev-ups. Anything, maybe. It's probably all defense, if anything. Offense, pretty much the same. And then defensive dev-ups. Ward goes up in dev. Merrick finally goes up in dev. It's been so long. Swift goes up in dev, in fairness. Merrick, though, I gotta say, his zone coverage has gone up despite the fact that his overall really hasn't. So I don't know if his upgrades are just not giving him overall upgrades, but he's not terrible, actually. Swift, 81 zone, already pretty good. And then Ward, obviously, with the Rookie of the Year award win, will have himself some power move upgrades. Obviously, he's going to be main block shedder, but these upgrades should get him to, 79, 80 maybe, hopefully. Not bad, not great. 84 overall already. We traded our other guy as an 83 after 2 years as a starter. We made the right call. But here it is, 87 overall Seahawks versus the 89 overall Raiders. Let's get into it, see if we can win a Super Bowl, please. Let's do it. 3-0, okay. 7-3, 7-10. Oh no, Raiders. We had a thing going on. That's all right, fair enough field goal. It's all tied up. We're down by 7. We outscored the Cowboys, but, this isn't looking good. We do have the ball. Huge drive. Please. Nice touchdown. 8 minutes left. Defense not going to hold. They get the stop. They missed the field goal. 4 minutes left. We're moving. No, 3rd and 15. I got to come in. We need this touchdown so bad. We really don't, but I'm just saying we need it. Play action to the right. Davante Adams. Please cover that right side. Davante! Great throw. He's open. Who else? There's still time for the Seahawks, though. They have 1 minute, all 3 timeouts, and a very fast wide receiver. And DK Metcalf, but Gerald Griffin, the normal dev, unless he got to star, and I forgot, corner that we drafted, seals the deal. And the Raiders are Super Bowl champions. I'm a little more juiced for this one than most rebuilds because it's been a while. We've been selling in these rebuilds lately. We haven't been winning Super Bowls, and this is one where we finally do it. Davante gets a ring just before retiring. Jacobs not retiring, but he's on the regression side soon. And May gets a Super Bowl, even though he was a backup this season. He's still a huge part of it. And yeah, winning a Super Bowl is always great, but as it's been, a little bit of a dry streak, it feels. And on top of it, in the AFC West, this feels great. Pope, gotta say, I don't know what it is about him, but it just seems like he has, no character. I don't know why. He just doesn't have any character. Most of our quarterbacks, I feel like, and he's been great. But most of our quarterbacks, I feel like, I don't know, it's just weird. I get a weird feeling. It's just weird. Dalton Kincaid is a Seahawk, apparently. Looking at the pass rush, Ward is amazing. Crosby's amazing. They were all right. Wilson got involved. Okay. Gerald Griffin, the interception. Missed field goal for Butker. Might not have changed anything, but at the end of the day, definitely changed something. They might have gotten a field goal instead of forcing something downfield because they know they needed the touchdown, throwing the pick. Playoff schedule, and there it is. There she blows. Look at all these numbers, by the way. There's too much going on my screen. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Looking through the playoffs here, if we would have had like the Chargers instead of the Jaguars, we would have had probably the toughest playoff like route. No, like the Bills are tough, the Chiefs are the toughest, and then the Jaguars, which I mean they were number 2 seed anyways. They were very good. Not easy, right? And then obviously the NFC side, Super Bowl wasn't that tough. Could have been like the Cowboys. But let's take a look at our team, and I want to see the dev up for the corner because maybe Griffin did get a dev up like just this season. I just missed it. He did not. He did not. O-line, Colt Miller, I guess, because he's like a real Raider player, is a 91 overall with very good pass blocking, okay run blocking, just enough to get the job done, but nothing crazy. I don't really care too much about the other guys. I will say, for some reason, Hilton's headshot there looks very real. Like, have we had that player model before? Because he looks... I don't know if it's just me, but, like, he looks real. Maybe it's because he's not, like, directly dead center, even though Ruiz, he's dead center. I don't know. He looks like a real player almost. Looking at Pope is the next guy. I want to take a look at the quarterback. 87 overall. Very balanced across the board, but then that short accuracy obviously climbs up. Speed, I think, was 84 to start, right? If I'm not mistaken. So he might have got a speed. I think he had a speed upgrade at some point. Mayer, 25 years old now. Not the fastest guy in the world. Catching's all right. Route running's pretty good, especially short. He's a very, one-trick pony guy, and he really didn't show to himself too much in this rebuild, but Devontae's still here. He got a speed back, which is nice. He got back to 91 or 90 speed. I don't know if he starts at 90, 91, whatever, but Treylon Burks, everything's pretty good except for that release, which release is really important. So that is a very bad rating to be missing out on. Even Pippen has good release. He's a one-trick pony too, pure speed, but that's a trick that is pretty good. It's a pretty good trick. Josh Jacobs, very fast, good trucking, good stiff arm, good juke move. He's like the perfect running back, honestly. I don't know about that change of direction. I didn't actually see it. That might be his one downfall. Stephenson, though, well on his way to becoming a really good linebacker in the league. Super young and, rather balanced. 80 block shed, 73 zone is pretty good for a rookie linebacker, or a young linebacker, should I say. We already just looked at Swift and Merrick, so we'll go on to Griffin, who sealed the deal with a pick. Very fast, still young. Needs a dev up, though. Hobbs, he's got to be regressing. He's 86 overall. 27, no, he's just not progressing. He's not regressing, he's just not progressing. Corners definitely a little bit on the lower side, so maybe it proves that corners aren't as important as I usually put the emphasis on. 89 power move for Tyree Wilson. Like I said, we basically drafted another Tyree Wilson in the draft, so I don't know if that's a good decision or not, but it is what it is. We've done it. Looking at Max Crosby, 99 overall, 97 power move, 99 finesse, very fast, 84 block shed, and all the smarts in the world. He is a goon. Spencer, 81 overall. Let's take a look at how he progressed. Another block shed only type guy, but Ward, at least with the +3 that we manually upgraded, is a viable pass rusher at 79 power move, 83 block shed. Still super young though. He obviously just won a Super Bowl as a rookie. And then the last player we'll look at is Shields, Mr. Chris Shields. Very good block shed, very fast, okay zone coverage. And that is going to be the realistic style rebuild of the Las Vegas Raiders. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support on the channel. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PK plays for non-Madden content. And let me know what team you guys want to see next. Like I said, usually if I do a rebuild on the weekend, it's like a challenge rebuild, so that might be what we do next. And if you have an idea for one, let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you come back for next video, which probably should be a Houston Texans franchise video tomorrow, and then 3 videos on Saturday, then more than likely. But until next video, see ya!